I keep trying to record this video for you guys, and this big ball of fur seems to keep getting in the way every time I try to record. But here we go, take 3. Hi everyone, Madame Fong here. I just wanted to give you guys a little information video to kind of discuss basically the end of the year and what that's going to look like for us within our English course and what it's going to look like for you in general because you're in 12th grade, which is your final year, unless you are planning on doing a victory lap, which is also excellent. So information that's important for you. Number 1, I'm sure you've already heard the Minister of Education has announced that we are not going back to the school for classes for the remainder of the school year. So the physical classes are canceled. I am obviously still continuing to give you online work. The online work should take you 3 hours per week. That is the target, okay? If you are finding that it's way more than 3 hours or way less than 3 hours, please let me know so that I can adjust it accordingly, okay? Because I'm kind of estimating right now what I would think would take you 3 hours total. So that's the first thing. So where school is closed for the rest of the year. If you did leave something within the school, okay, and you need to go back to your locker to obtain your property, we don't know how that's going to happen yet, but we haven't forgotten about you. The school board is working on a plan and we'll communicate that with you guys in the near future. The other thing that we haven't forgotten about is graduation. It's very important to celebrate your graduation because that's a major accomplishment. Once again, we haven't forgotten about you, okay? There is a graduation committee that is working very hard right now to figure out what they're going to do to replace the ceremony. Or not necessarily replace it, but modify it so that, you know, we still respect physical distancing measures. And I've kind of heard through the grapevine some of the ideas they have, and it's going to be cool, okay? So keep your ears peeled. You should have an announcement. You should have news about it coming very shortly your way, and it'll outline how graduation's going to work for you guys, okay? Now, if I'm you right now, and I'm watching this video, I'm asking myself, why should I keep doing work? Seriously, look outside. It's been absolutely gorgeous. The weather's been amazing. If you look at the forecast for the next 2 weeks, it's going to keep being amazing. Why should I do work right now? I'm sure most of you are very well aware that your grade that you received at midterm is the minimum grade that you can get on your report card. And I'm going to answer that question for you. The answer is money. When I was your age and I was in high school, I had a decent average. I didn't have the best average, but I had a decent average. And when I graduated, I ended up getting, counting the money from the university, I ended up getting about $10,000 in bursaries. So that's my pitch to you right now. My pitch to you is, why should I keep doing my English work? The answer is bursaries. You have a golden opportunity. And the opportunity, I always hear students say, Madame, we're not paid to be here. This year, you can be. This year, you can be paid for all of your schoolwork, for all of your achievements and your hard work. So that's why I think you should keep doing your work. At midterm, I sent you your grade. Let's just say, as an example, let's just say your grade is 70. What I encourage you to do is to go look at the college that you applied to, okay? I want you to go to their website, and I want you to go under the bursary section, and I want you to see entrance bursaries, because almost every college in Ontario offers an entrance bursary, and usually it's based off your grade. So what it'll say is if, let's just say, you know, Madame Fong has a 70% and I go to Algonquin. Algonquin is willing to give me $500 as a thank you for having a 70 and coming to their college. Usually that amount goes up, and it goes up with your grade. So they have different amounts for 70, 75, 80, 85. So if at midterm your grade was an 80 and maybe Collège Boréal is offering $1,000 for an 80, ask yourself how much your time is worth, because sometimes for the 90, that amount can go up to $1,000. I know a lot of you have part-time jobs. Ask yourself, how many hours do I have to work at Tim Hortons to get $1,000? It's really simple right now. Everything you hand in can help increase your grade. When you increase your grade, you open up bursaries. And when you open up bursaries, you open up your wallet. And that money can become very, very, very handy next year when you consider how expensive post-secondary education is. So why do I encourage you to keep doing your work? So that you are eligible for every bursary possible. And not just entrance bursaries. I'm talking about Ontario bursaries too. You're all automatically considered for every bursary this year. And the higher your average is, the more bursaries that you are eligible for. So when I say please keep doing your work because it'll prepare you for next year, yes, it'll prepare you for next year, absolutely. But it could prepare you financially for next year. And that's my pitch to you. The other thing that's really nice is, let's just say you're struggling in another class, but you're doing really well in English. Usually those bursaries are based off your average, which means if you can really crush your English work and then it boosts your average for maybe another class that you're not doing so great in, use it to your advantage. These are all advantages. These are really great opportunities. I encourage you guys to take advantage of them. What is left for English for the year? So your senior memory book, you should be finishing the last chapters this week. I don't want you to hand it in immediately. I already have a couple people that have, but it's been great, so that's fine. But I don't want you to hand it in immediately. Next week, and I've already posted the information for next week. Next week, I want you to refine your project, okay? When I say refine, you'll have to look at the instructions for next week to get specifics. But I found, this is a little embarrassing, but that's okay. I found my senior memory book from when I was in 12th grade. Whoops. See if I can get this open. Doing this one-handed is tricky. Boom! My senior memory book by Brittany Fong. Adorable, okay? Obviously, I was able to do a physical book because there was no pandemic and I was able to get craft supplies, and I like doing crafts, so that worked out for me. But your senior memory book should really be you, okay? I think it's the 4th point I put for next week. Make sure your book has heart. The one thing that I've noticed with people's projects is that it's static, it's factual. It's not supposed to be factual. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to really be like a recollection, like a memoir, if you will, basically going over your path of how you got to where you are. Especially chapters 13 and 14, because they really allow you to express yourself about how you're feeling right now with the current situation. Obviously, you are not living a typical year. When I was in your shoes, a long time ago, when I was in grade 12, I wasn't living a typical year either. I graduated during, they called it the double cohort. So when I was in 12th grade, the Ontario government had decided that high school was no longer going to be 5 years, that they'd brought it down to 4 years. And the problem with that is that I was the first grade to graduate in 4 years, and all of the kids a year ahead of me were graduating in 5. So what happened? Twice as many people were graduating, twice as many people were going to college and university, twice as many people were applying for bursaries, and it was a very competitive year, so it was different. But anyways, senior memory book, make it about you. Read the points for next week to see what I'm looking for. I took the 4U course and I did this, so there's a lot more in terms of writing. But make sure, I'm sure my grandma's impressed I put that photo. Make sure that you put photos of you and your family. If you can't do that, I understand, okay? But really, like, give it some heart. So I put pictures of my cousins, my mom, my first birthday, okay? Things that are relative, my grandpa and I. This was kind of neat. My grandparents were pack rats, so they saved everything. I managed to have a lot of materials to work with, but like, here, I thought this was funny. I included this. This was my little sign that I had to wear my first day of school. It had my bus number so that I wouldn't get lost trying to get home. That was my kindergarten graduation bear. They didn't give out diplomas. Concours de lecture, all kinds of things. But make sure, you don't have to do this. This is a lot. This is overkill, okay? But make sure that your book has heart, okay? Because that's the goal of it. It's not supposed to be a factual biography, okay? That's not the point. So senior memory book, due June 3rd. June 3rd. If you're a little bit behind, that's fine, but recognize, okay? So we're starting to get towards June. Recognize that like the final date I'm going to be taking things is probably about mid-June, okay? The last couple weeks I am going to assign work, but it'll be light reading, it'll be poetry, it'll be that type of assignment, okay? That's your senior memory book. What is the last project I'll have you do? It's an oral presentation project. You can do it individually or you can do it as a group. I will have the details posted for you by early next week. I am literally going to put the last couple weeks of work, I'm going to lay it out for you right now, which means if you're feeling ambitious, get it done, and then that way you have more time to you. If you don't want to just pound it out, if you want to really break it up, keep your 3 hours a week, perfect. Then it's there for you and you can access it when you want to. Okay, so summary. 1, grad, we haven't forgotten about you. You'll be getting info soon. 2, if you've left anything at the school, we'll be giving info for you soon. They're coming out with a protocol on how you're going to get it. 3, keep going. You can do this. Cash in on this year. This is a really great chance to get a ridiculously good grade. I encourage you to take advantage. And 4, 2 projects left, senior memory book, which should be pretty much done, and 2, an oral presentation project that you will be getting the details on. And that is our year, folks. So I hope that you're all having a great day. I hope you're going to have a great week. Hopefully you stayed safe this past May run. Take advantage of the lovely weather, but make sure you stay on track. Life is about balance, okay? All right, guys, hang in there. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. As you know, I'm available that way, or if you need to, you can always make an appointment too, and we could do a Teams meeting, okay? All right, have a good one. Thank you.